What's up, guys? This is Cameron Johnson here. Welcome to the very first Q&A. This will be pretty short. We didn't get that many questions. That's okay, though. Let's get it started. First question. This is from Instagram. This is from Police Knot. Opinion on Sound Tank pedals. I think I do think the Ibanez Sound Tank line is incredibly underrated. Unfortunately, they're kind of ugly, and most of them are plastic. I think the very first ones are actually metal, but the majority of them are plastic. But to be honest with you guys, they're a lot stronger than you think. I've never had any Sound Tank pedal actually break on me or anything. I do have one with a faulty switch, but I purchased that knowing that was the case for really cheap. But I think Sound Tank pedals are fine. I think most pedals are fine, actually. They're worse. I think they're worse guitar amps than guitar pedals, believe it or not. I think with the right guitar amp, you can make pedals, all pedals sound great. So that's my opinion. Next one's from Hellraiser. He asks, favorite non-ESP guitars? If I didn't like ESP guitars, probably the closest thing would most likely be Gibson. I started out on a Gibson Les Paul Studio. That was my first electric guitar. I like their hollow bodies a lot, so I'd probably play a Gibson of some sort. Probably a Les Paul. That'd be probably the next closest thing to what I play mostly. I like Telecasters too, but the problem with Tellies I think they're very uncomfortable to play. Except for the Richie Kotzen Telly's great, but then the neck's humongous on that. So probably Gibsons of some sort. Les Paul's maybe ES, I don't know, 175, something like that. That'd be fun to have too. Next one's from my buddy Nikon. He asked, what is my favorite era of Boss? Does my interest extend to Roland products like the Jazz Chorus? My favorite era of Boss has got to be from the inception, so like, I don't know, maybe, was it 77 they came out with? They started, I think it was 77. So probably the first 10 years, I think they were super innovative, and that kind of covers the late 70s to the mid to late 80s. That's my favorite era. I think they did a ton of great stuff then. Probably their best pedals, really, just on the innovation standpoint. They've made some awesome things now, some pedals now in the last 20 years too, but I think the first 10 years is definitely my favorite time period. So that's that. And does my interest expand to Roland stuff? Sort of. I mean, I like the Roland Jazz Chorus. I almost purchased one. Now I have the Boss CE one, so I think I kind of have the best of both worlds. I can pair that with any amp I want. So really my interest is really just kind of more Boss focused. If I went to Roland too, I'd probably just go nuts and have way too much stuff. I already got too much stuff. But so yeah, I'm sticking just to Boss. Next question is from Wayne James. Do I like stuff? Yes, I do. Okay, still from Instagram. Boss automatic wah or Boss manual wah? I'm gonna go with the automatic wah because I am not good at playing or using the wah I'm playing. I forget about it. I just end up doing the kind of like, just like a weird sweep thing. I'm not a good wah person at all. So I just use an auto wah. That way I don't have to think about it. And that's my preference. Best stomp box ever. That is a really difficult question. I'd probably say the most influential stomp box ever is probably the Boss OD1. Mark my words. We had two questions on YouTube. The first one from Guile Herme, something like that. I say Guile because Street Fighter, of course. Fidalgo, that's his last name. He says, I'm also a Boss pedals collector and purchase very rare items, just like me. But there are not many people here in Brazil interested to talk about Boss pedals. There's a little bit of a language barrier, but it's probably my fault mostly. Or exchange items. Do you know if there's a worldwide collectors, I'm assuming like website or forum or something? There used to be one called Stompbox, and there might still be, that's really a Boss dedicated forum, has a ton of Boss fans on there. Beyond that, I'm sure there's some Facebook groups. I think actually that website was called bossarea.com or something. They might not be up anymore, but that was the place I knew of. So that's kind of where I would hang out. Or my Instagram page. Boy Adichia. Boy Adichia. I think that's right. I see that you didn't have your collection of John Petrucci Ibanez anymore. What guitar did you trade for? Do you still have Ibanez on your collection? So I think another language thing. I sold all my Ibanez guitars actually. The John Petrucci Ibanez was pretty cool. The neck was a little bit thinner than I liked. It was a really cool finish. It turned out just to be like an RG with slightly varied knob placement and control placement. And the neck was a little bit thicker, but not as thick as the very first one they made. So anyway, it didn't really seem like it fit in my collection of guitars because I was kind of getting out of the Ibanez stuff. Although that guitar is super iconic to me, so I had always wanted one. So anyway, somebody contacted me on YouTube out of the blue. I believe it was a husband of a plastic surgeon, I can't say that. And he offered me like $700 more than I paid for it. I think I paid $1,400, and I think he offered me, it was about $2,100, maybe $2,200. So $700, $800 more than I paid, so I didn't play it anymore. So the second part of the question was, do I still have my Ibanez, or an Ibanez in my collection? I don't. I love Ibanez guitars. I think they're super cool. They're kind of like the boss of the electric guitar in the way they were very innovative, and of course Japanese. But yeah, I sold them all, mostly because of the neck size. I didn't really want to fool with the trims anymore. Like the trims, as far as, you know, tremolos, locking tremolos were awesome. The Edge and the Edge Low Pro Series, but I just didn't want to fool with those anymore, and the locking nut, all that stuff. I never used it anymore, so I just would prefer a hardtail. So anyway, if they made RGs with thicker necks and hardtails, I might be interested, but right now I'm just enjoying the ESPs. Alright guys, so that's the very first Q&A. I think we'll probably just stick to reviews for at least a little while. I think you guys are enjoying that more, but you never know. We'll see what happens in the future. So, alright, we'll see you soon.